GSL 시즌2 코드 S.
What's up, guys? We're sOs, and that's right. When we start this season, we merge together into a beautiful Korean woman. This is our final form.
Indeed.
That is Gyuri, one of our hosts. She's going to be introing a lot of the new stuff we have in this tournament, but we're going to be talking over it.
Yes. By the way, that little intro, pretty cool.
I like it.
I hope that they finish off the intro with whoever wins, and I hope it's like Byun, and they're all like, whoa, what? And then like you turn the camera, it's just Byun walking towards Byun's stats and Zest, and I'm like, wow.
It's just like Time Cop, where if the same matter touches the same matter, then it gets destroyed.
Yeah. Oh my.
So we got a lot of new maps, man.
Yeah, look at this. Frost and Deadwing going to be added to our map pool alongside Newkirk, Whirlwind, Abyssal, Daybreak, and Proxima. Deadwing, of course, no horizontal spawns will be allowed. And as we hit the round of 16, rumor has it that we'll be replacing a couple of the 1v1 maps with some new maps. So a little bit of spicing it up in the round of 16 like we did last season. That'll be fun. And of course, here we have the spread of the players. And it could not be what? More perfectly balanced.
Yeah, wait a minute, there's 2 more Protoss. This isn't fair.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
I guess we solved it, guys. No, really even race distribution here for this season. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to come out on top. We've had the landscape of top-tier players changing slowly through the course of 2016 here into 2017.
Yeah, as you see as well, 2 foreigners being in here. It's been such a long time. Of course, Scarlet making it in previously was so exciting. She's back. And of course, Major or Special or Gosi Terran or whatever ID you really want to call this guy, the greatest player from Mexico.
Yeah, it's really cool to have Major down here. We've known Major since I think he was like 14 or 13, and we knew him online before that, but it's pretty wild. He's out here in Korea, and we're really looking forward to casting his games.
Indeed. Here's our groups for this week, guys. Of course, we're going back to that schedule that we had in the last season, where this is the EU time zone here on Wednesday, and then on Saturday, which will be Friday night in NA, we'll be doing that then, so 1 p.m. KST. Yeah. Definitely a much different time, so 5.5 hours before right now for Saturday.
Definitely remember, if you're in the North American region, or South American region for that matter, Friday night's going to be a good time to watch GSL. Certainly more convenient for you than staying up to the middle of the night.
A lot of crazy groups coming out as well. Some of them more crazy than others. Some of them look a little bit one-sided like Group C, but then you get a group like D, and it's like, damn, Gumiho, Zest, and Live.
That's a pretty scary group. So yeah, we got a lot of great games coming up here. Definitely get out there, remind people that the GSL Codas is back. We had a short break, and also we have been casting the ASL, our StarCraft 1 tournament. That's been every Sunday and every Tuesday. I believe the Tuesday time's actually been pushed to 5 p.m. KST.
For this week only.
For this week only, but normally that's at 7 p.m. KST, so definitely mark that down in your calendar too. We got 4 casts a week for us.
It's just never-ending StarCraft going on right now. Really a lot of fun to see both 1 and 2. So happy to have GSL Codas back, I got to tell you, man.
Absolutely.
This is the tournament.
Somebody was, I think it was Maynard said on Twitter that this is our 30th season, is that right?
Of Codas?
Codas, yeah. We've been on for a long time, man.
I can't wait till Codas has more seasons than I have years. That'll be sick.
That's right. It'll finally eclipse
Only
it.
a couple more years tasteless.
So as you can see, going into Group G and Group H, we've got a lot of very, very scary players here. And we have our 2 non-Koreans, our 2 foreigners on Wednesday and on Saturday. So definitely tune in for that.
Yeah, that week is going to, I think, spike our ratings a little bit. By the way, guys, get out there and spread the word. A lot of people don't know GSL came back today.
That's right.
Codas, it's here.
So it is good to be back here. I'm very excited to see, how this unfolds. We've had some changes here in StarCraft 2 with some patching, so I'm curious to see how if the meta does change and the players keep doing the same styles they've been doing before.
Well, we'll be seeing some of that today because the Adept patch is live in Korea. And yeah, so I've been told. I actually left the house at 8:30 a.m. this morning, so I couldn't check myself. But someone assured me that in fact it is live here.
So it's time to get this tournament started. This is the group phase. If you are not familiar with our tournament, we do have each player play against each other. The winner goes on to the upper part of the group, the loser to the lower part. Basically, you have to lose 2 best-of-3s to be eliminated.
Yeah, it's the same old format that we've had for a very long time. And this group is pretty out of control. Of course,
So-
SOS two-time world champion is here. Impact, this guy I am looking at to win a tournament in Korea this year, Tastes. He's so
He's
strong.
really been improving very steadily. Lucira, one of the OGs of StarCraft 2. He's still here. He's still strong. And you definitely want to never put your guard down against somebody like him.
I like these medals that they have. And look at that innovation, man. 2 first places and a second place. Damn you, Sulky. This guy could have been a triple medal winner, but
Yeah.
innovation, of course, always one of the favorites of every single tournament he enters, including this one.
So I think most people are probably expecting it to be SOS and Innovation to move on. Impact is a bit of a wild card. Look, I think Lucira is a great player, but this is going to be a very tough group for him.
Yeah, what do you think about who's moving on here tonight, Tasteless?
Well, I think you always have to assume Innovation's going to, or I'm sorry, not Innovation. Well, Innovation for sure, but what I meant to say was you should always assume that SOS could advance.
Okay. So you're going
SOS is-
Innovation SOS? Or?
Yeah, I'm going, it's pretty milquetoast, but that's my prediction.
Well, I would say everyone has a chance to advance here. Innovation will advance here, in my opinion. And I'm looking at this. I think that Innovation and Impact are going to advance. In fact, I think Impact's going to 2-0 SOS. I think Innovation's going to 2-0 Lucira. Innovation's going to 2-1 Impact, and then Impact's going to clean whoever comes out of loser.
Wow, you are crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe you think that SOS might not get out. Well, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm
think
happy
so.
to be wrong. The players that are on top do not always stay on top.
No, they certainly do
And
not.
it is a new season here at Codes. So good to be back.
Oh, yeah. Codes just feels right. There's just something about it. There's something in the air down here.
Somebody was saying this is one of the oldest esports shows. This is actually the oldest esports show that's consistently been on.
That's right.
And it's still going on today. And we're
And it's
plan
going to
on
last forever.
marching it on into the future. That's right. So, here is a shot of our 4 players. We're moments away from starting game 1. The other players are allowed to watch here in the studio to see what the play styles are looking like, get some reads early on. A lot of times you can see, depending on if somebody's cheesing too much or they seem to be microing poorly, you might try to tailor a strat to maybe take them out a little bit more quickly. Or if you see phenomenal play, maybe you're going to err on the side of caution.
Always got to be on top of that type of thing, and that's the exact type of thing SOS is going to be doing.
Impact, I'm very curious to see how he performs today. This is by far the most interesting player out of the 4 that we have here because the way this guy plays is really going to dictate how this entire group ends up turning out.
Well, he's just in such form right now. It's madness. Like, you watch his play, and he's, like, mechanically all there. He harasses more than, like, everyone except maybe Dark.
Yeah.
He's just, like, he will just always have the harass going off. You're attacking him, he's dropping you somewhere. It's just happening. Just assume it. There's a drop coming, and he will tailor that drop to do damage. He knows, like, every little branch that he needs to do. Impact is on fire right now.
The problem, though, is he's going up against SOS, and SOS is basically, he's never playing within the current meta. He's always playing ahead of it. This is a guy who's, you put him on any new map, he seems to always have the answer immediately.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to cheese. He's not afraid to all in. He's not afraid to do the weirdest unit
very
comps
true.
you've ever seen. Or he'll just play a really normal game and react.
Yeah, he definitely has a full range about him. Recently, he has been addicted to Adepts in this matchup. And in fact, really in all matchups. But he's been so Adept-heavy that I'm a little bit afraid for him. Of course, we had that patch come out, right? So minus 10 Adept health, that could affect him a little bit. And Lucira is pretty damn spot on at stopping Adept aggression. And generally when SOS is like first 4 to 5 Adept attacks
Thanks for coming down, guys. Hope you guys are going to enjoy the show tonight. By the way, for those of you guys at home, you can come down here and come to our studio. Entry's free.
Yeah.
Sorry, Artosis, go ahead. What were you saying?
Something about how when you shut down Adepts from SOS, man, he doesn't really come back from that too well.
That's true. The thing about SOS, though, is I feel like he's one of these players that adapts on the fly so well, he might be fine. I don't know. Curious to just jump into this game. Map number 1 is going to be on Proxima Station. And I'm wondering, man, because you're saying the SOS might not get out, but I feel like if he doesn't get out, that's huge.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people.
That's so huge.
I think a lot of people would say that. He's SOS, so you're just like, well, I mean, you can win this tournament, you can win any tournament, but I really think Impact's going to slaughter him here. But what I would love to see is SOS bring a completely different style, not Adept-based, maybe like air toss or something like that.
Okay,
See if he can pick up some victories. But if he plays like the same old way he's been playing PvZ, I don't think that Impact is going to die to that. I just don't see it.
Well, if anybody can mix up styles, it is SOS for sure.
Yeah.
Map 2 and 3, Newkirk Precinct, and then Abyssal Reef if we do go to game number 3. So unlike the ASL where we do a best of ones between each player, here we're doing a best of threes.
Yeah.
So there will be opportunities for these two guys to try to get somewhat of a read on each other after game 1, see if they can adjust and tailor their strategies to be better suited to win the following game.
Yeah, look at this. 2 wildly different maps to start off this best of 3. Proxima Station to start off. Proxima, you're going to be able to get 3 bases so easily. It's so easy to turtle here and just not die as a Protoss player. And then Newkirk. I mean, your third base is super wide open. Your ramp is wicked wide open going up into your natural.
Wide open.
Like, there's a lot of ways.
Wicked wide open, guys.
Wicked wide. Whoa! So, very, very different maps to start here today.
All right, it's time. This is day number 1 and game number 1 of Season 2 of the GSL Code S. SOS versus Impact. What's the song?
Whoa.
Rush me, drop me.
3,411th match.
In the upper right, in the blue.
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
Isn't that crazy? 3,411 matches so far.
That's a lot of games we casted.
Oh my God.
In the bottom left, in the red.
Dead Pixels, Impact.
His chair and jacket match the hatchery.
Wow.
Oh, we love you. Thank you for coming down, guys. Oh, right away. Okay.
Yeah.
Pylon to block the hatchery.
Quite a quick pylon block going off right there.
We got to entering the players, and I'm like, oh, something's already happening. Okay.
He's blocking the second hatchery as well. All right, so SOS up to his good old shenanigans.
So this is SOS, yeah. So, I feel like out of all the Protoss players we've ever casted, SOS definitely showed he had the widest range. I feel like he does have a wider range of strategies than even Stats, even though Stats has got a pretty large range, but SOS goes to the very, very far extremes of that. For instance, doing a double proxied pylon to make it so that Zerg can't make a hatchery basically anywhere to start things off, at least not as quickly as he'd want to. And now we see the answer from that is Impact is making a hatchery all the way in the center left of the map.
Yeah, that is where you generally will take your 4th base against Protoss, so that is really far off. SOS is going to scout this. This is like, it's very interesting that Impact did this, but I guarantee you, like, this guy is always up at the top of the ladder. He's always like top 20-ish or so on the Korean ladder. So he plays against stuff like this enough that I trust his judgment. I just wonder, because SOS is, so good with things like Adepts, and this is so far away from the other bases that how is he going to be able to defend that?
Yeah, so this is what SOS has wanted to have happen in this game. The hatchery is way far out. It's going to be quite difficult for the Zerg to connect these two areas with creep, and obviously you need to have a proper creep highway to have good circulation with your army going back and forth, which means that a Protoss that's going to harass can really pick the battles pretty easily, can draw units out in between these two bases and take them out with that reduced speed.
And that's probably what he's going to end up going for. It's been his style, very much so.
Now, that being said, I think Impact is more than aware of what SOS wants to do. The question is he going to be mechanically and tactically able to deal with it?
Well, I think that Impact is amongst the best Zergs, both mechanically and tactically, currently in the world. So I think he will be able to.
So that was a really good scout. See how he hit the probe over here? He's checking to see the hatchery count. He sees, okay, there is a third hatchery that was put there. Now, due to the setup of these bases, we have to bear in mind that the bottom left base, assuming that this game goes on for a long time and Impact isn't beaten up early on, the 4th base for the Zerg is basically free in the back left.
Yeah.
Very easy to take.
He's doing all the hard work right now with what is his first expansion. That's normally like your 4th. That's where it's like, okay, well, I need to expand here now. This might be a little bit hard to hold, but getting that out of the way, I guess, if you look at the bright side, it makes that 4th base super easy to take. But right now, we have SOS going into Glaives. No big surprise there. Just 3 gateways with it. We'll have to see if he wants to add a Robo or do anything crazy like a huge gateway explosion.
I believe he actually did not scout the Twilight.
Oh, did he not?
It's actually, if we had a vision check of it
that
Shine showed us a minute ago, and it was just in between the two Overlord Scout Pass. The building fit perfectly
Oh, wow.
in the, within like that Fog of War area, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, actually. Okay, he sees it now. So that Zergling gets a little peek of what's going on here. And double Stargate. Whoa.
Whoa, wow.
Okay, this was really popular a little bit ago.
Oh, he did see it. I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
Well, he saw the Twilight when his Ling ran up here, but he didn't see the double Stargate.
I was right the first time. I should never doubt myself.
Don't ever doubt yourself.
I should never ever doubt
Remember
myself.
when I was fixing what you were saying yesterday, Tasteless? Don't make me do it again. Okay, so the double Stargate, like, this is a build that, like, you oftentimes take a quite late third base with this because you're nonstop producing Phoenixes and Adepts as much as you possibly can, and against this kind of base layout, it definitely could work.
Yeah, one thing that's kind of cool about the idea behind this is that if you don't initially see a Stargate right away, a lot of times even a very good player will discount that as a possibility coming up a little bit later on. And he's making double Stargate. So this could blindside the Zerg. Now the Adepts are coming in here. Looks like they might just be going for drones, but very good pull here by Impact. SOS literally does nothing with that poke.
Yeah, it's definitely very hard to get damage done against Impact's drones. He's on top of them, pulling them back all the time against Adepts. And he has Roaches on the way, which will block Adepts well, but don't do as well against Mass Phoenix.
Yeah. The two Phoenixes are out, so he wasn't hiding them. He wasn't trying to pull them. And I believe, yeah, there they are. So they're going to be coming over here, try to do some scouting.
And they're going to go after some of these Overlords. A lot more Phoenixes should be rallying in as well. Roach speed on the way. Definitely a strong ground army being made by Impact. But he's got to get enough spores that these Phoenixes don't do too much damage. And a Hydralisk Den actually on the way behind this.
Okay. We have the probe now coming down here. He does want to try to get a third base up because the tech structure that Protoss went for, the third base is a little bit later than normal. So it's actually pretty important that he either does a lot of damage. Oh my God, he's getting a Nidus.
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not expect that at all.
Little crazy, little out there. But, ooh, he does not want to be losing Queens right now. If he doesn't have sufficient anti-air with that Nidus, he's not really going to be able to get damage done against all the air.
He's going to get 2 Queens. The Nidus is almost done. I'm sorry, where can the Zerg actually put the Nidus?
Well, he's got Lings actually up near the third. I don't think he has anything spawning in the main.
Yeah, no, there's no Overlords that he can poke in there with. He has an Overseer, I believe, headed northbound. See the shadow of it at the upper left-hand side of our screen. So he's going to probably make the Nidus over there. Obviously, you have to have vision in order to get that up over there.
Okay, well,
for the time being, though, SOS is actually taking out a lot of Zerg units, which is going to make this rush nowhere near as strong as it could have been.
Well, he will eventually run out of lifts, so maybe that's like part of what Impact is planning on here. There's not an overcharge here at the third base, and like everything's actually looking pretty good for SOS at the moment, but Impact continues to tech up. We haven't seen him actually throw down the Nidus yet, which is interesting as well. Maybe he's decided, okay, this isn't going to work, no reason to do it.
Yeah, that's it's not an easy move for a player to make if you've already got that Nidus up to then decide, well, you know, my time is now over with this, so I'm just going to go ahead and not use it.
By the way, Burrow and Burrow moving on the way, as well as Pathogen Gland, so did he cancel the Nidus? Is that... I don't even know.
I don't see where the Nidus was actually being made. It's possible. It's possible when you start to lose those Queens initially.
Yeah, maybe he just decided that wasn't the way to do it. But the Burrow and Burrow movement's really cool because the Robo is just now being made, so there's actually 0 detection for SOS.
He's now shaded these Adepts in over here. The Phoenixes are going to come in here and combo well with those Adepts. Meanwhile, the Roaches with Burrow are moving in here. Nice pylon block over there.
SOS really on top of his game at the moment. Flying right over this Spore and picking up so many Roaches while he comes in here with the Adepts. A great Burrow, though, so the drone's not going to be picked off quite as easily.
Yeah, now these Roaches hitting these pros, but this is a huge blow right now over to the Zerg's economy. Now, with the fact that he's broed those drones is incredibly helpful because that takes a lot of the momentum out of that Adept harass. But these Phoenixes, the damage is really starting to stack up.
Yeah, there's definitely been some problems in trying to defend against those. Not really enough Spores or Queens to stop them off. Adepts all over the place. Only 7 drones dead, though. That's not as much as it could have been with this type of strategy from SOS.
Yeah, SOS is still hitting everywhere. Now it's down to 14. So much damage has been dealt here. I have to say, if the Burrow hadn't happened, it probably would have been a lot more. But still, 17, 18 drones have now been killed off.
And all this Roach harassment starting to not work out as well. SOS making me look dumb. Very first game of the GSL this season. I love it.
Yeah, SOS, this guy, he just knows how to win. You give him any situation, any map, any matchup, any player, and he just knows what he has to do to get into a great spot. Good burrow there, by the way. He needed to make sure that Infestor didn't get picked off.
Yeah, he had enough for a fungal, but like just a blind fungal doesn't really do much. You want to at least chain them together, maybe pick the Phoenixes off. This is still a very dangerous army that Impact has. Now, he's remaking that Hydralisk Den. He cancels a lot of buildings, man. He had started the Hydralisk Den before, canceled it. Now he's remaking it. And to go along with a bunch of fungals, that could be very good.
Okay, these Roaches are coming up, but there are Immortals now in the mix, which means the Roaches don't have the same kind of robust qualities they were having earlier there. So they are going to have to back up.
Okay, those Phoenixes still sitting back at where the fourth base will end up being. A few Adepts coming into this third, or I don't know what to call this really. This base over
base
here.
In the center left.
Yeah. Get a few drones, but the Burrow's really saving a lot of these right now for him.
Now, he might try to come up there and fungal those Phoenixes. They're still parked in the back looking for possibly a drone they could pick up.
Okay, he's going to be able to clean this up. Now, taking a look, okay, I love that SOS is getting Storm. I was going to say this would be a great comeback for Impact. Like, if you don't go Storm against Roach Hydra, it will whittle you down if you get charged. Like, a lot of Protosses will end up dying to that. Zealots don't do anything against Roach Hydra. Like, they're very good. Charged Zealots are just good in general against Zerg, but when you get kind of the Death Ball Zerg walking around, Zealots evaporate.
It's like that battle Zerg almost. Like they actually want to try to fight your army. They're not doing what a lot of Zergs do. Oh, nice fungal over here. Ooh. I was too busy looking into your doe eyes, Artosis, to immediately catch that fungal that happened right away. He could actually take out all of these Phoenixes. Oh!
Well, I mean,
Impact really needed to get those Phoenixes. That's actually quite unfortunate. That was
too bad.
That was kind of supposed to be the climax of this game.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Zerg's going to go ahead and try to push out now. Roaches, Hydras, and Infestors.
Oh, my.
And now getting 5 Ravagers. It looks like he wants to attack the 4th base here for Zerg. And by the way, if he doesn't kill this 4th base, Protoss is most certainly going to win.
Yeah.
SOS is getting too big. I can't believe how many Immortals we got. Where did those Immortals come from, man? I saw like one, and then we came back. Oh, thank you, Artosis.
The Robotasis, the robotics,
Oh, is that the tech that makes it?
Yeah.
We were looking at it earlier. There was one Immortal, and then we come back a few minutes later, and there's like 6 just roaming around over there. This is the key point here for the Zerg. The Zerg has to do something or risk falling massively behind. Good job gooping the robotics facility so that he can't get more Immortals out here. But I do wonder, I think he just shot down the Warp Prism.
Oh, did he?
I believe that's what we saw. It was at the very top of the screen, so it was kind of cut off.
Yeah. I think the problem here is the High Templars. Well, I guess he doesn't really have detection right now on top of these burrowed infestors. So you can see things like chain fungals on those. Absolutely. Oh, there's the detection, though. There it is.
There it is.
There's the observer.
He's going to try to come in here.
He's coming out.
Now, this is going to trigger the Zerg to try to move in here to the right. No, Zerg backs up. Now, while this is happening, the Warp Prism can come in and warp in and attack these other locations where the Zerg can't really be defending because the Zerg is pushing so hard.
And that is a great move right there, getting some of those Zealots in. Oh, in fact, catching some of these units as well. A bunch of the Infestors. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
That is the most important part of the army right there.
Yeah, these Infestors just not quite fast enough.
And he doesn't even... He finally uses a spell on something here.
So you could see that the combination, well, that was a bad corrosive bile, but the combination of fungal and corrosive bile is very strong. You freeze the units, and then you just shoot that artillery down there, and you're not even trading units into theirs. It looks like Impact is getting cornered over here, and this is the end of his army. GG, SOS wins game number 1.
Well, good on SOS, like really crushing Impact in this game, throwing a bunch of curveballs at him. The double Stargate wasn't scouted for a very long time. It looks like there was a canceled Nidus, canceled Hydra Den. Impact not really getting into what he wanted to do, but I still believe that Impact can 2-0 SOS Stakeless.
I'm not sure I believe you, Artosis.
Well, I tell you...
Or I believe in Impact's ability to win Game 2.
Impact is...
You, Artosis, I always believe in.
Yes, well, you should. I'm a very believable man. But Impact right now is in the VSL Finals, and in fact, to get there in the round of 4, he went down 0-2 against Zest, then reverse swept him.
Yeah.
So, like, this guy is capable of it right here, right now. SOS just played a really good game, but... I don't think this next game will look anything like that last game.
Really? Well, let's hope not for Impact's sake. Our game is now loading up. This is a game where we've had some pretty long PVZs, but sometimes they actually get really short. There's a lot of rushes both sides can do. So get ready. SOS versus Impact. SOS right now with a 1-0 lead. Rush me, drop me. We need to make up some more fake lyrics for that song. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
Look out. They've upgraded Burrow. In the bottom left, in the red, who matches the hatchery. Wait for it. Look at that.
Dead Pixels, Impact.
Completely color coordinated. Thanks for coming down, guys. Let's see what SOS is going to do this time around. We have a quick pool, by the way, and extractor. I wonder if that's just for the map, or is that just a reaction to what SOS did in that last game?
I think that it's pretty easy to guess that SOS will want to pylon block again.
Yeah.
So if you just are like, well, I'm not even going to, waste time messing against that, I guess just go right into the pool. And of course, on this map, it's such a wide open natural that if your opponent gets greedy at all and you went for like a gas pool into hatchery, you might be able to just do like a baneling bust and kill them if they get greedy. It's just, it's so wide. You have to have a pylon in the wall. You have to build a ton of buildings there. A lot of times people like to build like a Stargate in their main or a Twilight in their main, right? So that's 2 buildings that you don't put in the wall right away.
It's actually kind of funny because all the way back to the early days, like the first year of StarCraft, StarCraft 1 even, it was always like one of the most important things about a map was like how big the entrance to any location is. So much of what you're doing is based off of like, okay, how much do I need to clog this area up, or how much can I actually attack into a certain location when I'm trying to kill my opponent. And on this map, you're completely right. It is a pretty wide area to try to defend.
Yeah, definitely can cause issues. We'll see if he wants to do something a little bit cheesy there. SOS does get greedy at times, but definitely has the type of micro he needs to stay alive as well. Very quick mothership core coming out here. So that's going to make you about as safe as you can really be against early aggression as well.
Link speed's about halfway done. These 2 Zerglings now going to move into the main to try to get a peek at what exactly Protoss is doing. And it looks like they're slowly going to be zoned away by the mothership.
And they'll run around, see if they can find some tech. He knows there's a missing pylon. Finds said pylon, no tech at it. What are you going to do?
And it looks like he should. Oh, no. Is he going to be able to go around? Yeah, he's trying to move around it. It's just not going to work. And it's going to be the Stargate tech with adepts being pumped out of the gateway.
All right, a couple more Lings going in. And he does scout the 3rd base going up for Impact, kind of the far away one. Probably a good choice against SOS, who just loves to shade towards you at a moment's notice.
Looks like he's not going to be able to get any more probes over here. The Adept is doing a good amount of damage over here. He just needs to continue to stalk that.
Dude, he's making a lot of Lings. A lot of Lings right now. I guess this could be partially to block this pylon rush. Like SOS
out here.
loves...
The mothership is like... Our mothership core is so far away right now. This is kind of hilarious.
This is actually a thing that like has really popped up quite a bit lately. SOS loves to throw down pylons near people's hatches just to force extra units out.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, because initially, if you don't play a lot of StarCraft, it might look counterintuitive, like, aren't you losing a building? But because the pylon is actually a threat, and you can lose workers, you have to react to it. And sometimes the amount of Lings they're making is enough that it's going to really slow you down. Now, how does this play out if Zerg was going to rush you anyways, and we're not going to have a drop over here into the main? Looks like the probe has spotted it.
Ooh, he's going to be able to drop that out right away. The mothership core pretty far away.
Yeah, the mothership core was actually up there trying to assist in the rush.
Yeah.
So it's going to be late coming back here. So he's going to manage to take out this pylon.
He's even working on that gateway in the wall end. So trying to get as much as he can out of these units right now, starting that kind of patented impact harass. He's always going to be dropping for the rest of the game unless you really clear his overlords out. So there is a Phoenix on the way. SOS knows that Impact will continue to try to use that, but not really that much damage off this first drop.
No, not that much at all. So very well handled here by SOS. The Oracle obviously can defend as well as it can attack there, so that was a great counter to those Lings. The Phoenix now comes out to take out that Overlord. It looks like Protoss is gearing up to take the 3rd base.
Now, Overlord's speed is on the way, so that's going to allow him to get some drops off again a little bit later on, maybe keep alive some extra Overlords as well against the Phoenix. SOS taking this 3rd as well. And still making a second Oracle, so definitely going to be trying to get some harassment done.
We now have a Baneling's Nest coming up here, and 18 more Lings on the way. It does not appear that Impact is necessarily going to want to go into a late game. He might actually just try to do a bust here. And SOS has to be careful because he's expanding very aggressively. He has, it's like he has a sophisticated set of units. He's got like a Phoenix and an Oracle. You know, he's got a few Adepts there, but I don't know if he has it in great enough numbers to help out when trying to defend this.
Well, look at this, by the way. I want to mention that second Spore in this main. Zergs do this, okay? Like, the amount of drones that we see Protoss is they just fly around the first Spore, because you can't put it directly south of the hatchery. It doesn't, like, work right there because of large stuff. So really nice from Impact, trying to prevent anything from dying off. But he's going up into his lair, and what is he going to do with all these Lings that he made?
I'm not sure. I mean, we'll have to see. We'll probably send them out, maybe make some Banelings. It appeared to me that he wanted to try to be aggressive here, but we don't see him actually trying to move in on this expansion just yet. And with this third base now having probes sent to it, ooh, nice, 5 more kills there. With this third base about to be up, we're going to have to see either Zerg expands or tries to attack.
Yeah, now look at SOS. He's actually going into double Robo and Colossus tech, and this makes a lot of sense. I think that this is going to be something that we see popping up a little bit more right now. Because, like, if you don't see a Roach Warren off the Zerg, a lot of times they'll just go into Hydra Bane.
Yeah.
And Hydra Bane is pretty scary, actually, for Protoss, especially on a wide-open map like this. So if SOS is going for 2 Robo Colossus, he's going to have like the sickest timing attack with 4 Colossus, with just a brutally strong army against something like a Hydra Bane.
Yeah, he seems to be in pretty good condition. We have some of those Banelings, by the way, finishing up. SOS definitely get some points here for using these Oracles so effectively, but the 2 Colossus tech, I think you're right, Artosis, this is going to be kind of problematic for Impact to deal with, especially if he does end up with the wrong unit comp against it.
Oh, totally. Like, Hydra Bane is super strong and has like a very surprisingly high win rate. It's just like a lot of games you can force a Roach Warren out of Zerg and they can't just go straight into this comp. This game it wasn't the case, so SOS has kind of figured out exactly what's going on and is countering it as well as it can really be countered.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. These Oracles come in here again. He also tagged a good amount of that army there, so it's going to be tough for Zerg to actually surprise the Protoss if he does try to attack. Thermal Lance on the way with +1 ground weapons about to finish up, so SOS is really gearing up to be in a pretty strong position later on here.
Yeah. By the way, he never got the Hydralisk upgrade. I think that I think he like misclicked something or something, right? Like you have to get the Hydralisk upgrade.
Yeah, that's not a thing where you skip that.
Oh, you know what? Maybe he figured out what's going on because he's adding a Spire right now. So this could just be a very small amount of Hydras, and then like if he goes into, let's say, Corruptors or something like that, Mutas even, then suddenly the Colossus that SOS thinks is countering Hydra Bane, it's actually like Ling Bane Muta, which is as different a comp as any comp could be.
Yeah, well, this could really throw Protoss off. If you're investing that much into just Colossus and then the Mutas come in and completely blindside you, he doesn't really have solid anti-air. And a lot of times just seeing those few Hydras is enough to keep Protoss on that tech path, thinking that they're doing the right thing. A very vigilant Protoss player might catch on to the fact that the Hydra number is not really growing and is in fact staying at the same amount. That's one way he could be tipped off, but I'm not sure how focused exactly SOS is on that.
There's actually some more Hydras being made as well, so I don't know. I'm not exactly sure.
We don't know what the hell's going on in this game.
This could have just been straight up a mistake that he forgot to get the Hydralisk upgrade, but definitely a bit painful there.
He's only going to be able to unload 2 Lings there.
Yeah.
Protoss is now pushing in. The Spire is not yet done, but there's certainly not enough gas to make anything massive out of all that tech over there. He's going to try to drop these Banelings over here on top of the Stalkers.
Oh, no blink done yet, so definitely does some pretty significant, well, I guess shield damage for the most part, but it softens up this army. He's going to lose this base, unfortunately. That is his 4th base, so he goes down to 3, whereas SOS is taking his 4th right now. And this Colossus timing attack is just so strong.
Yeah, it really is. We have some more Hydras being made. I'm curious to see if he's actually going to keep pushing up here. Immediately, immediately Impact goes up to the north and tries to expand there to compensate for that 4th base that was destroyed.
Well, I mean, it's hard for Colossus to to walk across the map. So
what are you laughing at, Artosis?
I'm just laughing at you. You're such a funny
what
guy.
did I do that was so funny, Artosis?
I don't know, Tasis.
Yeah. We've been trying to figure each other out perfectly as how the other person casts. We're like, all right, here's exactly what you do. And I just caught him doing one of his, I got you, Artosis.
Yeah, you got me, Tasis.
I've solved you, Artosis. We got
Well,
pylons.
it's about time, Tasis. I solved you about 5 years ago.
I think he's going to try to push it and just end this.
Okay, am I crazy? He doesn't have the Hydrals upgrade, right? Like, that's a pretty important upgrade. Ugh.
I think even without it, or with it, I don't know if it's going to help that much. He needs to get really good Baneling drops on here. He doesn't have Blink, right?
Yeah, he does have Blink.
He does have Blink now.
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected. So if he just blinks away from that, yeah, there you go. Zerg has just hemorrhaged so many units, and all Protoss had to do was back up for a second.
Yeah, the Observer shows that there is not the Hydralis upgrade, which is just brutal. Like, Hydralis are so garbage without that. Well, okay, I guess.
I guess he loses.
I guess
this game.
my predictions are off to a great start for the season, aren't they?
We're just keeping it consistent here. GG. That's it. SOS crushes Impact. Moving on to the winners part of Group A. Nicely done.
Yeah. Definitely some flaws coming out there by Impact. Hopefully he can pull it together for the rest of this group, but SOS showing a lot of strength here. 2 builds that he hasn't really used at all recently. And, of course, the double Colossus build. I think that this is something we're going to see a hell of a lot more of in the future as Adepts die off a bit. So will Roaches. And thus Hydra Bane comes up, and these Colossus attacks are really good against that. You get a bunch of sentries so they can't connect with you, and the Colossus just starts to shred everything.
Nicely done there. SOS looking strong as usual. Impact, I think Game 2 was a little bit more disappointing than Game 1.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, our second best of 3 in Day 1 of the GSL Code S Season 2.